So this video is just talking about category write-offs, what you're going to get, what you're going to do. So the first thing you need to familiarise yourself with is what a category write-off is. So I literally just put into Google category write-offs, and CarWow's come back with what is a category A, B, S and N. So that's Alpha, Bravo, Sierra or November. So immediately, category, what is this? Oh, give me 1 second. Didn't really plan this. So a Cat A has suffered severe structural damage and cannot be repaired. A Cat B car cannot be repaired, but it can be stripped for parts. Cat S, structural damage that can be repaired, and Cat N, non-structural damage that can be repaired. So we'll begin with a Cat A. So a car has suffered severe structural damage and cannot be repaired. So also, that can also indicate that there's been a fatality in the vehicle as well. So there's certain vehicles you can't purchase because there's been a fatality in it. So heavy road traffic collision vehicles, stuff with massive mangled bits and bobs, that's why you can't take them, because you come across a certain car and there's not really much up with that. Well, it's got a complete twisted chassis, but there's also been a fatality in it. It doesn't mean that it can go on and be broken for parts, which doesn't mean it can become like a Cat B. So a Cat A is, you'll not get anything from it, immediately just goes to be destroyed. Cat B, a car cannot be repaired. So this is a category B. It can't be repaired, but it can be stripped for parts. So that's the Cat A and the Cat B. So the Cat A, goners. Cat B is a goner, but it's got plenty of parts in it. It's got some nice seats in it. It's got an engine that still runs. It's been twisted up the back and twisted round or something. It's got lights that are salvageable, the odd wing, the grille, so that sort of stuff. So that's a Cat B. Move on now. This is where it gets interesting. The Cat S. It's a structural damage that can be repaired. Structural damage that can be repaired. So the Cat S is something that has been repaired professionally, normally on a jig, twisted chassis that's been straightened out. Bits where it's had a considerable amount of work done to it, like Matt Armstrong's videos where he's picking up cars that makes it viable to repair because it's still worth that. So if you're going to buy a car that's category written off with a book value of £60,000 and you pay £30,000 for that vehicle and spend £15,000 on it, it owes you £45,000 back. Well, it's got a book price of 60. You know that that vehicle has been repaired and it was roadworthy again. So there's quids in with that if you know what you're doing and who's doing it and that sort of stuff. And then category N, so category N for November, it's a non-structural damage that can be repaired. So that is as simple as a scratch down a car, or as simple as a knock on a light. So it's nothing to do with the chassis itself, the vehicle's chassis. It's normally to do with interchangeable parts, such being a grille, a radiator, a slam panel, because they're interchangeable. They're not involved with the actual body of the structure. They're made to take impact and disperse energy on a crash. So that's why you can repair that, like a wing or a light or something. So yeah, that's a Cat N. So you've got the category Alpha, which is a no-go, written off, destroyed, disposed of. A category B Bravo, which is the car cannot be repaired, but it can be salvaged for parts. So you can then remove as many parts as you want off it, but make sure the chassis is destroyed and whatnot. Us as individuals, we can't buy them vehicles. You have to be part of like Copart. A category A and a category B, me and you as normal people will not be able to buy them vehicles. Category S, structural damage that can be repaired. Yet again, you might find a few of them knocking around where people have had buybacks off their insurance company and left them on the drive and you can buy them back, but that is also chassis damage and stuff, so I won't go down that route. But if you see a vehicle that's come back as Cat S, it's had so much work done to it, it's fixed and it's back on the road, and you're going to save yourself £8,000 from buying it, that's cool. That's, to me, that seems pretty sound. As long as you've got the previous history of the repair work and who's done it, that's amazing. But that's it, who's done it. And if you're going to buy that and save 8,000, when you sell that car, you've got to remember, you've got to list that as a Cat S for Sierra. So that Cat S now has to be, when you sell it again, you might not get the saving back, because you're going to have to list that as a Cat S to let the other person know that this was done. Some people don't do that. That's why it's always worth getting a car check. There's loads of companies out there. You just put the reg in, pay like a £5 or a £10, and it will download every single bit of information about that vehicle. And on to the last one yet again, category November, non-structural damage that can be repaired, which is a dead simple scratch down the side. And it is down to as simple as a scratch, because the time to prep and fix that scratch far outweighs the cost for the insurance. So that's why these categories have been developed and are being used, because if you have your car insured, for instance, for £10,000 and you're driving down the road and someone pulls out and slams in the side of you, you can't go, oh, well, I want the same car back. They'll give you a respectable value for your vehicle, and then you get the option to buy back. Or you find that the insurance company goes, hang on a second, the car is actually worth less to repair than it is to pay out, but it's worth more to fix than the car's worth. So that's what they work on a scale. The insurance company work on a scale. So you'll find, like, you could find like top AMGs that have been repaired correctly from a Mercedes approved dealership, because the actual repair work is worth it for the insurance broker. But then you'll find cheaper cars like a Citroen C1. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate them, I love them, I think they're freaking amazing cars. You'll get a C1, or this Merc, for instance, that had a knock on the back. You'll find that it's just not worth the insurance to do it. So we'll go from the top again. You've got the category Alpha, Goners, category Bravo, not being able to put back on the road but you can strip for parts. Category Sierra, which is structural damage that can be repaired and put back on the road, and category November. So A and B is something that you're not really going to see a lot of. They're gone. A and B, you're not going to see any of that unless you're involved in the industry, because you'll find if you go on eBay, for instance, and go, I want some front seats for Fiat 595. Oh, there's 2 front seats there, they're 600 quid. Okay, cool. That's come probably from a category B car that's structural damage that can't be put back on the road, but then what you can do is purchase them parts or sell them parts online. Do you get what I mean? So it keeps other vehicles available and cheaper alternatives for repairs. So yeah, that's it really. That's the write-off one. Short video. What are we on there? 7-8 minutes long. Keep it short and sweet. But yeah, if you want to comment in the section below, don't forget to like and subscribe, because it does actually really help. It gives you the analytic stuff. So I just make sure that this to me isn't a job at all. This to me is a hobby. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy sharing information. I also enjoy having a diary of the stuff I've done, the stuff I've talked about. So yeah, if you give us a like and a comment or whatever, or comment on the vehicles that you've been involved with in the past, because I've still got an Audi at home that has been a cat write-off, and it's had all the work done on it. Runs sweet as a nut, nothing wrong with it. This is a cat write-off. I got nothing. I love cats. Don't mind them as long as they're repaired correctly. Like Matt Armstrong, for instance, he's got mental videos of getting cars that are salvage cars from Copart and stuff like that, and he does a fantastic job of rebuilding them and putting them back on the road, especially in the older classic ones. Imagine having a car that's, I don't know, an old Morris Minor, someone pulls out in Tesco, just cuts the side of the door, fucking hell, yeah, car's only valued for £5,000, but you've had it in the family for 40-50 years, and then something like that happens to you, you'd be devastated. Oh, it's written off. Well, what category is it written off as? So yeah, and then you buy it back and fix it. So yeah, anyway, peace out, take care.